Bring in Democratic member of Congress, Khanna, voted no on the deal. Ro, good to see you. Best for the holy days.
Good to see you. Merry Christmas to you, Chris, and to your viewers.
So you voted no, you Scrooge. Why?
Look, the speech that people should watch is Chip Roy. He's a Republican from Texas, person of principle. And he went on the House floor and he said, I don't understand how any self-respecting Republican can campaign on fiscal responsibility, talk about DOGE and cutting waste from government, and then vote to have a $5 trillion increase in our national debt. That's not my words. Those are Chip Roy's words. Go watch the 45-second speech. And the other thing, Chris, which you mentioned, and I like Representative McCormick, we've worked together on a number of issues, but this is real people we're talking about. The last shutdown, 800,000 federal workers didn't get a paycheck. Now, they may have gotten reimbursed later on, but do you really want that anxiety heading into Christmas? And you get postal workers and people working at the airports, and they're wondering, are they going to get paid? Why are we doing this to them?
So I agree, but the question also has to be asked to you and the Democrats, Ro. Do you want to put that anxiety on people, or are you open to signing something tomorrow? And if so, what does it have to look like?
Look, it should just be a clean bill. We had a deal, and I liked the deal that we had, which increased cancer research funding, increased funding for breast cancer, kids' cancer. I'm not going to say Republicans voting against that, don't like kids. I'm not trying to, demagogue the issue. What I am saying is, okay, you don't want to increase the funding. At least give us a clean bill which extends the funding at the current levels until March. And I'm fine voting for that. But you can't add to it this $5 trillion deficit when we know you're going to do the tax cuts, as Hakeem Jeffries said, and the Democrats aren't for that. Just do a clean bill, get the funding till March, and I'd vote for that.
Is that you playing brinksmanship here about political leverage for an issue which may or may not happen, which would be Trump doing tax cuts when he comes in, and that you're leveraging people's needs right now against a political play in the future?
Well, Chris, we're not leveraging anyone. I mean, we agreed to a bipartisan deal with Speaker Johnson. I was all ready to go back to California yesterday, and
but
then
that wasn't a clean
all
CR.
These tweets happened, and we had a CR, and it would have increased funding. McCormick is right; it would have increased funding for cancer research. It would have increased funding for some of the priorities, but it was a bipartisan deal. And that would have funded government. And then suddenly they want to add an extension to the debt ceiling that isn't even going to be an issue until March or June of next year. It adds $5 trillion, and they expect Democrats to suddenly just go along and vote for that without making any commitment of not doing the tax cuts. I mean, that's not in good faith. In good faith, let's come up with a clean CR, which we're willing to vote for.
All right, so hopefully something happens tomorrow, because you're right. You don't want to go in over the holidays. And frankly, I think you guys need a win, even if it's with a small W, that Congress can get something done, especially over the holy days that are upcoming. It's a very bad look at a very bad time. Let me ask you something about your party. You voted for AOC to have the top position on the Oversight Committee. She wound up losing to Jerry Connolly. What were you thinking with that vote, putting somebody in who you know is a red flag for moderates in your party, independents, and, of course, every Republican?
Even Trump was rooting for her. Now, some people say it's sarcasm,
yeah,
but
I'm sure
he was.
I'm sure he was, because she's a great foil for him.
Well, I think he sees that she's good on TV. I think he sees she's a good communicator, and I don't think it was ideology. I think we need our best communicators out there. That we got hammered on communication with the Republicans. They're doing more podcasts. They're doing more cable news. They're willing to come on more shows like you. We've been too scripted as a party. We kind of do our talking points, our traditional press conferences. We go outside the House triangle and do a press conference.
No, I get it. But the message matters. You are a brilliant communicator. You're also reasonable. Every idea she has is a socialistic idea, and it just beat you in an election. She is not in touch with the majority of this country on the issues that mattered in this election. And that's what I don't get. She's great. She's glib. She's charismatic. She believes, but her beliefs are not what was just reflected by the majority of this country.
Well, but you have to look at the committee that she was going to be on. It was going to be oversight, and oversight was about government transparency. Let's get big money out of politics. Let's make sure there's not corruption in Washington. Let's make sure there's reform. Let's hold big pharmaceutical companies and the PBMs accountable. You know, I can understand if it's foreign affairs or some other place where the caucus is divided. On oversight, this is actually to her strength because she's a reformer. And, you know, she did this video of people who had voted for her and Trump. And one of the big things was they wanted someone who would take on the status quo. So I think when you look at the role, she would have been good in that role.
I respect the argument. That's a good point. And I appreciate it. Ro, I'm just saying, I see you at the top of the heap in your party. You are a fair broker, and that's what you guys need right now. You're willing to work with the other side. You're willing to be wrong. You're really, I mean, I hope that you keep being out there, and I hope you keep rising through the ranks, and you're always welcome here, and I wish you the best for Christmas and beyond.
Merry Christmas, Chris. Thanks. You're always fair, and we need more of this, and I appreciate you always inviting me on.
Well, you are welcome, and we're going to have some special projects coming up where we're trying to bring America more together with their leaders, and I'll certainly be asking you to participate in those. But you vote no again tomorrow, brother, and we're coming. We're coming. We're coming. You're going to be getting a phone call tomorrow if we head into Christmas like this. I hope it doesn't happen. Be well, Khanna. We'll be watching.
I hope so. Thank you. I hope we get it done tomorrow. Take care.
Okay.